Benjamin Cohen, the billionaire scion, posts a late-night pic from a private jet tarmac. Caption: Operation Win Her Back. Initiated. Less than an hour later, Melody Nolan, the newly anointed heiress, posted a picture of a matching rose and an enormous diamond ring. Caption: He found me. The internet erupted. Fans went wild, and Benjamin himself crashed a live stream to fire off a series of furious messages. Win who back? You? Are you allergic to shame? It's bad enough I can't have her, and now you're out here trying to destroy my reputation. Do you even understand how vital a man's reputation is? After the rant, he swung his gaze toward me, his voice softening into a pathetic whine. Babe, say something. The day the real heiress returned was the same day I was ousted from the Nolan family mansion. While the internet mocked me mercilessly, a reality show offered me a contract. They wanted me as Melody's on-screen foil, her personal control group. To humiliate me further, the show staged a borrow money challenge. Melody and I were both forced to call the same person, the infamous Benjamin Cohen. Let's see, sis, Melody whispered, covering her mic when the cameras weren't rolling, her smile sharp as a knife. Will Mr. Cohen lend money to a disgraced pretender like you, or to the real, adored heiress? We'll see, I replied coolly, raising an eyebrow. I wasn't sure he'd lend me a cent, but I knew one thing for certain. He wouldn't lend her a dime. For maximum drama, the host had me call first. As the line rang, my stomach twisted with anxiety. What if he ignored me? The last time we spoke, after our breakup, he had promised he'd never talk to me again. 30 seconds passed. Nothing. Melody's smug grin barely faltered, though she pretended to look concerned. Oh no, looks like Mr. Cohen isn't picking up for my sister. The live chat exploded with ridicule. LMAO. Who does this fake think she is, dialing a Cohen for $1 million? She can't even borrow 100. If she actually gets cash, I'm eating my own shoe on stream. Wait, is that a fan of Thea? People are actually rooting for the fake heiress. LOL. The set was tense, thick with anticipation. Melody's triumphant smile widened. Just when everyone assumed the call would go to voicemail, it connected. Her smile froze. For a heartbeat, she looked caught off guard, before snapping her expression back to polished disdain. She was sure he wouldn't help me. Silence stretched across the line. I had to speak first. It's me, Thea. Still nothing. Can I borrow $1 million? A sharp, incredulous intake of breath echoed on the other end, quickly morphing into anger. Thea. Benjamin's usually smooth, magnetic voice was now tight with fury. You call me for the first time in months, just to ask for money? I muttered, bracing myself. No money. But you can have me, he spat, then click. He hung up. His words were so furious that the final part was muffled. Everyone, including Melody, only caught the first, crystal-clear part. No money. Oh, how unfortunate. Looks like Mr. Cohen won't help you, sis, Melody cooed, her sympathy fake as her eyes sparkled with triumph. Vivian, an influencer who had been fawning over Melody since day one, rolled her eyes at me. Some people really need to know their place. She's lucky a man like Mr. Cohen even answer her call. Then, turning back to Melody, her tone became breathlessly admiring. Melody, you should call him. He wouldn't just lend you $1 million, he'd give you 50. Melody basked in the praise, but then she noticed me staring silently at my phone. She subtly motioned for the camera to zoom in. The live feed suddenly revealed my screen. Notice. A wire transfer of $50 million from Benjamin Cohen to your account ending in 0553 on July 29, 2025 has been initiated. Please verify. 50 million? Vivian gasped, sucking in a sharp breath. Her scream yanked me back to reality. Before I could even process what had just happened, a new message from Benjamin lit up my screen. Is that enough? If not, I can send more. Actually, forget it. Give me your address. I'll just send over a black card. Easier for both of us. Don't misunderstand. I'm just too busy to keep doing transfers. The text popped up live for everyone to see. Gasps rippled across the studio. I stared at the message, recognizing that familiar, impulsive rhythm. He hadn't even finished typing yet. I knew exactly where that was going. Benjamin Cohen never missed a chance to say something indecent. Without hesitation, I blocked him. I could deal with returning the money later. Sliding my phone into my pocket, I looked squarely at the nearest camera. It's a scam text, probably phishing for my address. But the internet had already lost its mind. Chat flood. 50 million. Who spends that kind of money like pocket change? Is this what billionaire problems look like? Someone find the guy who said he'd eat his shoe.
Now. Fake.
No way he actually sent her that. If the real heiress gets a dime, the shoe guy eats too.
Deal.
Whole internet heard it. The chaos wiped the smug grin right off Melody's face. Vivian, her ever-faithful lapdog, jumped in to do damage control. Melody, it's your turn. That text was obviously fake. Mr. Cohen literally hung up on her. She turned toward me with a sneer. If I got rejected like that on live TV, I'd quit the industry, out of sheer embarrassment. Her words seemed to soothe Melody's bruised ego. She adjusted her posture, plastered on her practiced, innocent smile, and announced brightly, "Okay, my turn." She dialed Benjamin's number with the confidence of someone certain the world revolved around her. Rejected. A flicker of disbelief crossed her face. He probably thought it was spam, Vivian muttered quickly, glaring daggers at me. "Try again, Melody." Melody nodded, straightened her back, and called again. Rejected. A nervous tremor entered her laugh. Murmurs spread through the other guests. Still, she pressed the call button again. Rejected. Now she was sweating. The triumphant light in her eyes had dimmed, but she tried once more. This time the call went through. Relief flooded her expression. She even gave me a smug glance before Benjamin's irritated voice cut through the speakers. "I told you, I'm not buying insurance. Stop calling me. Are you insane?"
Click.
The line went dead. The studio froze. Even the chat went silent for a full 5 seconds. Then Melody tried one last time, her voice trembling. "The number you have dialed is currently unavailable." He'd blocked her. Someone in the audience snorted. Then laughter spread like wildfire. Chat spam. LMAO, she got blocked. Where's shoe-eating guy? You owe us. Poor Melody, dethroned in HD. But soon, Melody's fanbots flooded in, spamming the comments with "Princess Melody is the prettiest," until the ridicule was buried under glittering heart emojis. Melody's face had gone pale with fury. Vivian scrambled to comfort her. "It's okay, Mel. He probably just hit the wrong button. You can ask him to unblock you later. And hey, neither of you technically borrowed money, right?" The more she spoke, the worse it got. Melody's expression hardened, then she subtly signaled to someone behind the cameras. Moments later, her knees buckled, her eyes rolled back, and she collapsed. The chaos erupted. Paramedics rushed in. After a brief check, one of them solemnly declared that she had fainted from exhaustion due to her fragile condition. Predictably, the chat immediately shifted the narrative. Melody was the poor, overworked heiress who had suffered too much hardship in her youth. The live broadcast was abruptly cut short and rescheduled for the next morning at 10. That night, the crew scrambled for last-minute lodging. I found a nearby hotel, showered, and collapsed into bed. I'd been up all night composing, and exhaustion hit me like a freight train. When I finally woke up, the world had exploded again. Benjamin and Melody's names were plastered all over the trending page. Breaking, hashtag Benjamin Cohen and Melody Nolan cited. Viral, hashtag Operation Win Her Back Melody says yes. Hot, hashtag Cohen Nolan merger wedding confirmed. Just as I was about to click on one, every tag disappeared. Seconds later, Cohen Industries' official account released a statement. The rumors concerning Mr. Benjamin Cohen and Ms. Melody Nolan are entirely false. There are no personal or corporate ties between the two. Any claims of engagement or merger are defamatory. Legal measures will be taken against those spreading misinformation. Every gossip outlet scrambled to delete posts and issue apologies. But Melody's fanbase only doubled down, insisting Benjamin was playing hard to get and that this was his rich guy way of showing love. They even created a fan page dedicated to their imaginary romance, using deepfakes to splice clips of Benjamin's press interviews with Melody's show footage into romantic montages. The next day, every one of those fan accounts got sued. Cohen Industries filed a collective lawsuit against thousands of users for defamation and image manipulation. The sheer scale of it left the entire internet stunned. By the time filming resumed, Melody was sulking in her trailer, refusing to come out. The director was on the verge of tears, pacing the set. Meanwhile, I was lounging in my chair, scrolling through my feed. One of those ridiculous AI edits caught my eye, a fake wedding montage of Benjamin and Melody. I was still laughing at how absurd it was when my thumb slipped. I accidentally liked the video. My heart stopped. I immediately unliked it, but it was too late. A string of new messages exploded onto my screen. Benjamin Cohen. You've got time to watch garbage edits of me and someone else, but not to text me back. Thea, you're heartless. You thief who stole my body and my soul. You wicked woman. Why won't these stupid fan videos delete? Crying emoji. You're filming right now?
Fine.
I'm coming to find you. My blood ran cold. What did that lunatic mean by coming here? I typed furiously. Respectfully declined. Remember what you said when we broke up? You'd be a dog if you ever spoke to me again. Don't turn yourself into one. I hit send, shut off my phone, and got ready to go live. Melody finally emerged from her trailer, looking calmer than before. Her manager must have reassured her. The moment her eyes landed on me, a smug, victorious smirk spread across her face. She mouthed 2 words, "You're finished." I blinked, stunned. What was her problem? The show went on, this time focusing on our romantic lives. The host started with Melody. So, Melody, anyone special in your life? MHM, she said, tucking her hair behind her ear to show off the massive diamond ring on her finger. Her cheeks flushed as she added, "We broke up for a bit, but we got back together yesterday."
Wow.
The host's eyes widened as they landed on the ring. Is that the same ring Benjamin Cohen shared online last night? Rumors confirmed. Our wedding bell's coming. Melody didn't answer directly, but the bashful, glowing expression she wore spoke volumes. Guests crowded around her with congratulations. Vivian, in particular, shot me a venomous glance before gushing loudly. Oh my God, Benjamin must be completely smitten. That ring has to be worth a fortune. Diamonds and roses for a true beauty. She glared at me, sneering, unlike some people who just make things up. The chat went wild with congratulations Benjamin and Melody forever. Melody basked in the attention, her smugness growing. She waved her hand in front of my face to flaunt the ring. I couldn't resist. Stop waving it around. The diamond's fake. To the naked eye, it looked real, but the studio lights betrayed its origin. Lab-grown, no fire, just a convincing illusion. The words hit like a bomb. The live chat exploded. Chat reactions. Fake. How dare she? That's impossible. Benjamin wouldn't give a fake. She's jealous, obviously. Not a fan here, but as a jeweler, I can confirm. It's fake. You're just a hater. The studio fell silent. Everyone stared at Melody's hand. She instinctively hid it, panic flashing across her face. Vivian, oblivious, leapt to her defense. Thea, what are you saying? That's Benjamin Cohen's gift. How could it be fake? And you're absolutely sure it was a gift from him? I shot back. Vivian hesitated, then puffed her chest out. Who else would it be from? Do you think Melody bought it herself and pretended it was a gift? That's ridiculous. Melody went pale. I just shrugged. The host sensed disaster and quickly tried to steer the conversation. Melody, can you tell us how Mr. Cohen wooed you? She was about to answer when the screech of tires outside cut through the studio. All heads turned. Benjamin Cohen stepped out of a sleek sports car, exuding controlled fury. Everyone buzzed with excitement. Everyone except me and Melody. She looked terrified. I was speechless. He actually came. Benjamin stormed toward us, his expression thunderous. The host, professional as ever, greeted him warmly, trying to turn the chaos into content. Mr. Cohen, you really are devoted to Melody. We were just asking her how you won her over, but now we can hear it from you. The chat began shipping them again. Benjamin snapped. He whipped his gaze toward a petrified Melody. Are you insane? Who said I was chasing you? Do I even know you? Spreading lies about me online. What's wrong with your brain? His voice boomed. It's bad enough I can't win my wife back, but now you're trying to ruin my reputation. Do you have any idea how important a man's reputation is? The room went silent. Everyone turned to Melody with fresh judgment. Then, in a sudden shift, Benjamin's focus softened. He looked at me, vulnerable and desperate. Babe, you gotta say something. I froze. The audience froze. The chat froze. Mr. Cohen, the host stammered. When you said Operation Win Her Back, you meant
Thea?
Who else? Benjamin barked. He pulled a small jewelry box from his pocket, opened it, and slid a dazzling diamond onto my finger, leaving me rooted to the spot. He smirked at Melody. Mine's real. Not like some people who wear fakes for attention. Honestly, she could have just worn a sugar cube instead. Saved money and could have licked it when hungry. Melody gasped, eyes rolling back, and collapsed. The live broadcast ended abruptly for the second time. Later, away from the chaos, I tried to remove the ring. No, Benjamin said firmly, pressing it back onto my finger. The ring is yours. The money is yours. I'm yours. He wrapped his fingers around mine. I tugged, stomped his foot, cursed. He didn't budge. Benjamin, you said if you ever spoke to me again, you were a dog.
I teased.
Woof woof, he replied without shame. I was wrong, baby. I'll listen from now on. If you say stop, I'll stop. I clapped my hand over his mouth. Idiot. You can't say that on live TV. Suddenly, wetness against my palm. I looked down. He had licked my hand. You pervert, I yelled, spinning away. He grabbed me, pressing me against a wall, unbuttoning his shirt to reveal a silver collar. A delicate chain dangled into my hand. His voice was a low rumble against my ear. Baby, can we get back together? I'll be your dog. A very good dog. A loud clatter startled us. The producer was frozen, camera still rolling. Benjamin grinned. Now the whole world knows I'm your dog. You have to take responsibility. I groaned. Could you keep it down? Melody's public image imploded. The internet dug into her past, revealing the glamorous lifestyle she'd led before being discovered by the Nolans. The story of 20 years of hardship crumbled. Meanwhile, I was the one who'd actually endured poverty in the Nolan household. Benjamin, fresh from the shower and shirtless, wrapped his arms around me from behind. What are you looking at? Something interesting, I said, handing him my tablet. A photo of Melody in her middle school uniform, stepping into a Maybach with designer hair clips and bracelets. I'll look into it, Benjamin said, clipped and efficient. I simply nodded. As he made calls, I sat on the sofa, staring out at the city lights. A thought struck me. The Nolans had probably known all along that I wasn't their real daughter. They'd fought tooth and nail to keep me from going to school, denying tuition and even basic living expenses. My phone rang. My agent had a new show offer for me. Melody would be on it, and the Nolans had poured in a huge investment. It could be another disaster, or an opportunity. I'll do it, I said immediately. High pay aside, I wanted to see what Melody and the Nolans were plotting next. 3 days later, I found myself on the set of a new reality show called My Life. It was a warm, slice-of-life format where 5 celebrities took turns visiting each other's homes for live broadcasts. Everything was unscripted, unfiltered, and unpredictable. About half an hour before we went live, my agent pulled me aside. Guess who just joined the cast? Kai Sterling. The name didn't surprise me. Kai was the nation's top pop star, beloved for his voice, but known for something else too, his obsessive search for his long-lost sister. Rumor had it he joined the entertainment industry purely to find her. Meanwhile, Benjamin was sulking. Why can't I come on the show too? He whined, draping himself dramatically across the couch. Because you have no filter, I said dryly. And this is live. He pouted like a child denied candy. But everyone else brings guests. Let me join you, please?
No.
He tried one last tactic, lowering his voice to that ridiculous theatrical drawl he'd picked up from binge-watching historical dramas. Then, at least allow me to guard you from afar, my fair lady. Benjamin, I sighed. Stop quoting period dramas. And stop calling me fair lady. He just grinned, unbothered. When the cameras started rolling, I left him pouting in the green room, glued to the monitor. The show opened smoothly. The other guests greeted each other, the atmosphere cheerful and light. Melody, ever the actress, appeared completely unbothered by the recent scandal that had wrecked her image online. Kai, however, kept looking at me. His expression softened, his eyes glistening with unspoken emotion. His reaction drew everyone's attention. I simply gave a polite smile and chose a seat on the opposite side of the room. The moment we went live, the comments exploded. Melody looks stunning as always. The fake Heiress should have been banned from TV. But before the chat could spiral, Kai's fans flooded in, overwhelming them with calm, well-worded defenses. Please don't spread rumors about women you don't know. Accusing someone of seduction without proof is misogynistic. Think before you type. Words can destroy lives. Within minutes, the tone of the chat changed completely. Even Benjamin's social media team didn't need to intervene. When it came time to draw lots, Melody's name was chosen. She clasped her hands together, feigning surprise.
Oh,
it's me? Well then, welcome to my home. Her fans flooded the chat with adoration. Our princess lives in a palace. Soon, we arrived at the Nolan estate. Everyone knew the story by now. The real heiress returning, the fake being cast out. So the other guests looked at me with awkward sympathy. I didn't care. That house had never been a home to me. Melody led us inside, showing off the grand foyer. "It's nothing much," she said modestly, though her smirk said otherwise. I ignored her, my gaze caught by a painting on the wall. There was something familiar about the brushwork. A fellow guest, Clara, noticed. "That's by Aqua, isn't it?" "I adore her work," she said with a warm smile. I nodded, intrigued. "You recognize her pieces?" "Of course. Her Rebirth series is breathtaking," Clara said wistfully. "It's a pity her paintings are for exhibition only." I was about to respond when Melody inserted herself into the conversation. "Do you like art too, sis?" she asked sweetly. "Yes," I replied, keeping my tone even. Her smile brightened in mock generosity. She lifted the painting off the wall and held it toward me. "Then take it. I want you to have it." "No, thank you." "Oh, don't be shy," she said, pressing it into my hands. "This piece is very expensive, worth about $200,000. The chat went wild. 200 grand for one painting. Aqua's work is priceless. Melody is so generous. She's forgiving even after everything Thea did to her. I looked her straight in the eye and said coolly, "That's quite a price tag for a fake." Silence fell like a curtain. Melody blinked. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying the real version of this painting is in my house." Gasps filled the studio. Nina, one of Melody's loyal friends, burst into laughter. "Are you seriously claiming to be Aqua? Don't make me laugh." Melody smiled tightly, pretending to hide her amusement. "I am Aqua," I said simply. Nina's laughter grew louder. "Sure you are. That's convenient, considering the real artist never shows her face." I didn't bother arguing. I took out my phone, snapped a photo of the painting, and logged into my verified artist account. Seconds later, a new post appeared on Aqua's page. "Aqua, this one's a forgery. Be careful out there." Image attached. I held my screen up for her to see. Proof enough. Nina's face drained of color. She scrambled for her own phone and checked the account herself. The post was real, and it was timestamped just seconds ago. The chat went into meltdown. "Wait, Thea is Aqua." No wonder she spotted the fake immediately. Melody tried to gift her counterfeit art. This is wild. Melody's face turned pale. To twist the knife, I smiled gently. "It's all right. The Nolans already took $1 million from me when they threw me out. What's another 200,000 lost to them?" A collective gasp swept through the room. "Sis, that's not true," Melody said quickly, forcing a strained laugh. "I can show the transfer record if you'd like," I said casually, scrolling through my phone. "You made me wire it the same day you kicked me out and forced me to change my name, remember?" "That's enough." Melody snapped, trying to grab my hand. Her mask cracked for a moment. The director made no move to cut the live feed. Of course he didn't. He worked for me now. I'd invested twice what the Nolans had put into this show. It was time Melody learned what it felt like to be on the losing side. Melody quickly switched gears, giving us a tour of her bedroom and walk-in closet, which practically overflowed with Hermes bags. Kai watched quietly for a moment, then asked, "Was this your room before?" I tilted my head, casually.
No.
The Nolans never let me on the second floor. I slept in the storage closet under the stairs. The words barely left my lips before Kai's eyes welled with tears. His head whipped toward Melody, his voice shaking with anger. The Nolans spent hundreds of thousands on fake paintings, but made her sleep under the stairs? And they demanded $1 million from her? He looked like a lion ready to pounce. Melody's smug composure faltered, and she dropped a bag in surprise. "So what?" she snapped, recovering. "It's not like you couldn't have slept under the stairs." Her words hung in the air. Everyone stared, frozen in shock. Realizing her misstep, she scrambled. "Don't listen to her. Thea, we raised you. Mom and Dad were always so good to you." Tears streamed down her face as she tried to rewrite the story. I stayed calm, methodically laying out the truth. "I have the receipts for the $1 million I paid. Can they show proof of what they spent raising me? Did good mean keeping me hungry, sleeping under stairs, or locked in the doghouse?" I continued, voice steady. "Did good mean sabotaging my education? Trying to make me drop out of high school, messing with college applications?" I looked Melody in the eye. "Because the moment you arrived, you were given everything. Homes, cars, endless luxuries. I didn't get a cent from them since elementary school." The chat exploded. "Is Thea telling the truth?" This changes everything. Nolans are monsters. Denying her education? All those pictures of Melody as a child. She never looked poor. On set, the other guests instinctively stepped back. Kai was openly sobbing, holding himself back before finally bolting from the room. Melody, pale and shaking, tried to regain control. She fainted again. I called for medical staff. Unlike before, the doctors were under my control. Melody was perfectly healthy, but the broadcast had to continue. A brief lunch break followed, giving me time to regroup. At a private restaurant, I excused myself to the restroom, only to be pulled into a tight embrace. Benjamin buried his face in my neck. A single warm tear slipped onto my skin. "Why didn't you tell me?" His voice cracked. "It's in the past," I murmured, running my fingers through his hair. He cried harder, and I stayed silent, letting him release it. After a long pause, he pulled back, eyes red and swollen. "I'm the one comforting you," he said, shaking his head. "It's okay. Don't cry." I wiped his tears gently, teasing lightly. "You're less handsome when you cry." Seeing my calm, Benjamin understood, even if only partially, the resilience I carried. He hesitated, then whispered, "There's something I need to tell you about your birth parents." By morning, the broadcast had gone viral. Every trending topic was about the show, until they vanished. I recognized the move, the Nolans doing. Their stock had taken a hit after the broadcast, and they scrambled to erase the damage. A call from Mr. Nolan appeared on my phone. I calmly declined. Then, with a few clicks, I restored every topic they'd tried to suppress. My expression was cold. This was only the beginning. If they had dared to steal a child, they'd better be ready for what came next. At 3 o'clock, the broadcast resumed, this time at Melody's private studio. The Nolans had requested it, hoping to shift the narrative from their scandalous mansion to Melody's music career.
I didn't object.
Melody was already recording, focused and professional, though the morning's meltdown had clearly left its mark. Her fans went wild in the chat, praising her new song, Waiting for the Wind. Nina held her arm proudly, amplifying the fan frenzy. I interrupted gently. "Are you sure you wrote this song?" Melody faltered, then smiled. "Of course. Lyrics and music, all me." Nina scoffed. "Really? Don't tell me you're claiming it now, too." I ignored them. From my burner account, I pulled up the chat log proving ownership. The screen showed the licensing agreement. Melody had bought the song for use, but never the copyright. Her face went pale. She hadn't expected me to reveal the truth. Kai rushed forward, opening his own messages. Within seconds, my phone buzzed. "You're Taro." Kai's voice broke, tears streaming. "The person behind my music was you?" Clara gawked. "You're Taro?" I nodded. I had a few side jobs back then. The live chat erupted. "Thea is Taro." All this time, the famous song was written by her. Melody lied and claimed it as her own. The backlash was immediate. Stock prices dropped, Melody went catatonic, and the chaos intensified. Mr. and Mrs. Nolan stormed the set, wailing over Melody. But before they could manipulate the scene further, Kai, now aware of his sister, unleashed controlled fury. A woman intervened physically, and the set descended into full-blown pandemonium. Amid the chaos, I stayed calm. I turned to Kai. "Second brother, break them up." Kai froze, realization dawning. He knew I was his sister before the show. The Nolans had tried to reveal it gradually. He let out a wail, and the attacking figures froze, eyes wide in astonishment. That evening, I sat across from the four of them, letting out a quiet sigh. "I know what really happened all those years ago," I said calmly. "None of this was your fault. You don't need to apologize." My real mother broke down immediately, rushing forward to pull me into a tight embrace. Sobs shook her body. "It's all my fault. If I had stayed awake until your father returned, none of this would have happened. You deserve to grow up as our treasured daughter, not like this." Tears filled my eyes as I hugged her back. Benjamin had pieced the story together for me. It wasn't anyone's fault. Our families had shared the same maternity ward that day. The Nolans, knowing the Sterlings were wealthy, bribed a nurse to switch me with Melody when my mother went into premature labor. But before the swap could be completed, my father returned and realized I was missing. The nurse panicked, whisked Melody away, and left her at an orphanage. The Nolans' plan had failed. To cover it up, they sent Melody abroad, only bringing her back in middle school. They blamed me for their mishap, which explained the cruelty I endured all those years. My mother cried harder. My father's eyes filled with guilt. It's my fault. I never should have been away. Kai and my older brother Liam joined our circle, tears streaming. Finally, after 22 years, our family was complete. I had my parents, my brothers, and my home at last. I shared the full story, with all supporting evidence, across social media. The reaction was explosive. She was stolen from a wealthy family and raised by the Nolans? Thea truly grew up in poverty while the Nolans thrived. Melody tormented her because she never had the Sterling's life. She knew the truth all along. People were shocked by my resilience, amazed that I had thrived despite such hardship. Overnight, my followers multiplied as the public sided with me. The narrative had finally shifted, and I was no longer a victim in the eyes of the world. The Nolan Corporation collapsed under the weight of their crimes. The combined influence of the Sterling and Cohen families exposed everything. Mr. and Mrs. Nolan were imprisoned for life after multiple charges, and Benjamin ensured they received special attention. Melody's career imploded as her past misdeeds were exposed, from school bullying to darker secrets. Contracts were canceled, lawsuits piled up, and with no family fortune left to shield her, she attempted to become a sugar baby. Fate intervened when she targeted the wrong man, Vivian's benefactor, and a violent confrontation left both women behind bars. Finally, my real family was whole, free from the shadows of the past. I took Benjamin to meet my parents. Nervous and awkward as ever, he fidgeted at the door, trying to find the perfect first impression. I stood on my toes, kissed his cheek, and whispered, "Whether they like you or not, you're the one I want to spend my life with." Memories of high school flooded back, Benjamin quietly ensuring I ate during long study sessions, never needing the tutoring excuse he used to protect my pride. His eyes glistened as he hugged me tightly. "Baby, I love you," he whispered. "I love you too," I replied, smiling as I wrapped my arms around him. The storm had finally passed. From this day forward, there was only light and warmth in our lives.